welcome to the opening ceremony of an amazing new exhibit in Passionate Pursuit, the Arlene and Harold Schnitzer Collection and Legacy.
Check. Does that work?
That's better. Well, what I'm doing is I'm welcoming you here to a ceremony to celebrate an amazing new exhibition in Passionate Pursuit, the Arlene and Harold Schnitzer Collection and Legacy. I'm Bill Witzel, Chairman of the Board. Arlene and Harold have been a mentor for many of us here in the museum in many ways. Leadership, giving, moral support, and collecting. And we're here tonight to honor that legacy. Brian will now come up and make the formal introductions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Good to see everyone. Hey, make sure everyone has a glass of champagne, because we're going to toast at the end of my remarks. I want everyone to be prepared. So during the remarks, let's make sure everyone gets their champagne. It'll be fun. And I also wanted to thank Bill. You know, Bill has been a fantastic chairman for this institution, and he and his wife Helen Jo both serve on the executive committee, and Helen Jo chairs the collections committee, and they're my mentors. So thank you for everything you do. And I think, as Bill said, this is a very special occasion to celebrate in Passionate Pursuit the Arlene and Harold Schnitzer Collection and Legacy. What a fantastic title. Not only is this an exhibition, an opportunity for us to present the remarkable collection of this very influential couple, but it is also a moment to publicly acknowledge and thank them for their contributions. And I think for all of us to express our gratitude for what they have done for our community. So it's a really special night. In the museum's 122-year history, this museum is almost 125 years, but we're currently 122, there is a list of a few individuals who really stand out, and they've significantly altered the trajectory of this museum. And I think Arlene and Harold have to be at the top of that list, with contributions to this museum that are completely unprecedented. After Arlene's appointment to the board in 1967 and Harold's in 1990, their joint service has been over 20 years. They have been members of the collections, development, executive, operations, 2 director searches, 2 capital campaign committees, and Harold served as chairman from 1997 to 2000. They were both appointed life trustees in 2007, and Arlene continues to be an active member of our executive committee. Now, at the heart of this museum are our collections, which Arlene and Harold have built and substantially enhanced. Among the foremost collectors of Han Dynasty Chinese objects in the world, they have gifted numerous works that are appreciated by an audience worldwide as well as within this community. Their roles as founders of the Fountain Gallery provided deserved recognition of regional artists, as well as allowed this museum to establish a deep commitment to the art of the Northwest. Arlene and Harold have also contributed major pieces of American and English silver, Native American beadwork, and have contributed funds to acquiring major works throughout the collection in all disciplines. Now, this is what's astonishing. With donations of more than $10 million to this museum, Harold and Arlene are the largest financial contributors in our history. From capital to endowment to operations to acquisitions to exhibitions, they have supported nearly every aspect of this institution and then some. Arlene and Harold's generosity has also touched lives far beyond this museum. They have donated more than $100 million to more than 570 nonprofits, helping to inspire and improve the lives of countless individuals, and ranking them among the foremost philanthropists in our country. It's a remarkable statistic. For this project, in particular, I'm most grateful to their son, Jordan, for his leadership gift for the publication. And it's coming through the Jordan Schnitzer Family Foundation, which documents his parents' journey with art. Thanks to Jordan's underwriting of this catalog, a wide audience will come to better understand his parents and their impact. And I'd like to applaud Jordan. Thank you very, very much. The Portland Art Museum's success has always been tied to its Board of Trustees. And with this exhibition, I am very pleased to recognize the board as a whole. They joined together, and every single board member of this museum contributed above and beyond their annual contributions to make this possible. It is a testament to the leadership of Harold and Arlene, so thank you to the Board of Trustees of the Portland Art Museum. There are other major sponsors, and I'd like to call out a few. They deserve special recognition, and top on that list is Harold Matzner. Harold came all the way from Palm Springs to be here. Harold, thank you very much. The Goodman family, close friends of Harold and Arlene, as well as the museum and leaders in this community, thank you for your support. There's also Lucy Buchanan, who's here with us this evening, and she is given in memory of Harold and her husband, the late John Buchanan, who was the director of this museum for a number of years and saw great success. Lucy, thank you for your support, and thank you for being here. Additionally, I'd like to thank Lois Schnitzer, Liz and Bobby Warren, as well as Dee Dee Wilsey for their incredible support. And there's a number of donors who have contributed, and they're listed not only in the publication, but on the exhibition. So thank you very, very much to them. Now, pulling this all together and curating a major exhibition and overseeing the publication of the catalog is our chief curator and curator of modern contemporary art, Bruce Gunther. Bruce's encyclopedic knowledge of the Schnitzer's collection was central to this project. His decades-long relationship with Arlene and Harold demonstrates the magic that can occur when a skilled curator works with passionate and committed collectors. I congratulate Bruce on this project and like to give him a round of applause. Bruce, thank you very much. Now, finally, I would like to congratulate and acknowledge Arlene and the late Harold Schnitzer. Their love of art and deep understanding of how it can transform and change lives and communities are truly enlightening. We have all been enriched by their pursuit of their passion. Here's to you, Arlene, and here's to you, Harold. I toast you. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce and have come to the podium Jordan Schnitzer. Jordan.
As a gallery brat, and with the big print collection that I have in this traveling exhibition program, usually when I'm in front of audiences, I talk about the art because it's always about the art and the artist. But this is different tonight. And tonight, this is about the power of passion. I told my mother to think about fire trucks so she wouldn't get emotional. This is about the power of passion of a couple and their passion for each other and embracing each other and supporting each other. This is the power of passion for a community to give back where they were born, their parents came, and this country and this community has done so much for us. This is about the power of passion for artists and their crucial role in the community. And this is about the power of passion about institutions. Those latter years, my father would be in his office, and John and Lucy would come over, and Mom would come down, and I remember his saying, it's museum, museum, museum. There were lots of other institutions, too, they supported. Okay. But this was certainly a favorite of his and hers for the latter part of his life. Okay. So the art is incredible. Certainly for me, it is a surreal experience because it's like each of those fabulous pieces in the museum, it's like, wait a sec, no, you're supposed to be over here and over here and over here. But it's wonderful the way that Bruce and the preparators arranged the collection and curated it, and it's just a joy to see really a lifetime of passionate pursuit by a couple. Now, it's interesting, someone came up to me and said, well, so would your mother pick all the art? And I said, well, it was interesting. There were times they'd both see something and both agree on it. There were other times when suddenly a work would show up and Mom would say, where'd that come from? And Harold would say, well, I saw it and liked it. And certainly there were more numerous times when suddenly something would show up and Harold would say, Arlene, where'd that come from? Okay. But the most touching part really was back to the passion of the relationship is when my mother had the gallery, and some of you have heard this before, and I thought of this tonight, especially because it involves Dwayne Zaladek, and one of his works is in the collection there. And as a young boy of 8, 10, 12, I'd go to those openings. And it was so much fun seeing the artists and the workup and the graphics and everything. But it was really fun when I'd see suddenly a red dot or two go up, and I'd go to my mother and I'd say, gee, look at that, you sold that Carl Morris and that Carl Morris. There was a Mike Rousseau show. But then there was a show once in a while like the Dwayne Zaladek show. And while we loved his work, he may have been a bit ahead of his time, at least for this community. And I remember it'd get to be around 8, 8:15, and I'd go up to my mother and I'd say, there aren't any red dots. Okay? And then I'd go back a few minutes later and I'd run up to her and I'd say, Mom, and my father was standing right next to her, and I'd say, Mom, look, there's a red dot on that painting, you sold one. And she'd sort of give me this look, and then she'd look up over at Harold and he'd smile, and she'd whisper to me, your father bought that. Okay. Because my father not only was there as the rock, supporting her with her dream of the gallery, supporting her efforts to help the artists and convince all of you wonderful community people the importance of having art in your homes and your houses. Okay? But he couldn't bear the thought that an artist that would rip their guts out and put their work up on that wall would go home without a sale. So in terms of where I started about the power of passion, okay, what really is represented in those wonderful galleries is a lifetime of a relationship with each other, a relationship with the artists, a relationship with the community, and a relationship with the institution, this fabulous museum that's been an integral part of our family's life for decades now, since she walked in that first day in 1961. No, 58. I wish I was a little younger. 1958, okay, from then on. So I think I can't wait to hear my mother, and she's going to tell us some amazing things. But we all are quite indebted to you, Mom, for so many things that you and Dad did. And we can't wait to see all the future things you're going to be doing to continue to give back to this, as you say, village that's meant so much to you and to all of us. Okay? My mother.
Thank you. Hey. You don't think of this when you say you'll do something. When Bruce asked and we plan to share these years of collecting with the museum and with our friends and our family and our museum. You don't think at this moment when you have to get up and think fire trucks. I don't know what to say, and I'm not usually speechless. One of the things I thought about today, just in general, was how many friends I have who've spent years with a passion for art too and collecting, and their disappointment when their kids collect baseball memorabilia instead of sharing their passion. And I am so lucky that even though Jordan, along with his love and passion for Northwest art, has taken a path and become really one of the most important print collectors in the world, which gives me such pride. And I know how much he loves art, loves this community, the Northwest, and shares with me the pride in the artist. And he's an addict like I am about and I am really lucky that as long as Harold isn't here to share this with me, which obviously I wish he were, that Jordan is here to share this passion. I just want to say about Bruce. I go back with Bruce. How long, Bruce? Where are you?
40 years.
How long?
40 years.
40 years. He was a little kid. And I have shared so much with him all along these years. When I closed the Fountain Gallery, Bruce wrote the essay for the closing catalog. That's how much I thought of him then. And I love you now, too. And I don't know how many of you saw the exhibition over there, but there's one painting that's by George Johansson called Durer's Rabbit, and it's really a glorious painting, and fire trucks. I want to give that to the museum and to you, Brian, in honor of my friend Bruce.
Why don't you mention the artist over there too, that
Yeah. God, try to stay looking glamorous and looking out at so many people that I've shared so much with over all these years. I am so grateful to you, to my family. I have nieces here. I have 33 nieces and great nieces. Am I lucky? And several of them are here tonight to share this. Oh, of course. Jordan really didn't have to remind me that how grateful I am to the artist, because without them, they're the ones that have spurred me on, my friends, and so many that I didn't know personally, but inspired me. And how grateful I am to those who decide to put their energies and talents and brilliance into that creative force and energy that turns out the things that we see in institutions like this and love so much. So thank you, Bruce, Brian, to all of you. Support the arts. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for making these remarkable pieces of art available to the public of Portland and for our community. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone.